The Alabama Farmers Federation and the Alabama Farmers Cooperative proudly present Simply Southern with your hosts Jim Allen and Mary Johnson.
Good morning and welcome to Simply Southern. I'm Jim Allen.
And I'm Mary Johnson. This week on Simply Southern, get ready to mount up. We're taking you to the rodeo. Not only are we watching the cowboys compete, but we'll see how competition between young people helps them become more productive adults.
I really think I would just learn responsibility. I made a bunch of friends. Like, even though I'm homeschooled, I have tons of friends. It's just really fun.
And Alabama is well known for producing great musicians. While not everyone will attain the fame of Hank Williams or Randy Owen, there is a Northwest Alabama group that's racking up awards while building character.
A lot of people just think that FFA is only agriculture or only about cows or horses or stuff like that. They don't realize that there's a lot more to it, like learning leadership qualities and really just learning to make new friends.
And one of the biggest challenges for gardeners is keeping plants alive through a scorching southern summer. Sidney Phelps of Bonnie Plants will have some suggestions to help your vegetables survive.
But to get us started, we're paying a visit to Local Joe's, an Etowah County landmark that has a little bit of everything, but is known far and wide for some of the best barbecue in the area. That's up next on Simply Southern.
What one thing can you say about your local quality co-op store? You can trust us. You get what you need for your farm, for your lawn and garden, and the safest products for your pets. We're locally owned and operated, and you can trust that we care about our community and the people in it. So if you're a raised bed gardener, a rose gardener, or if you farm hundreds of acres, the Quality Co-op Store has exactly what you need to get the job done. All this plus friendly, knowledgeable advice. Your Quality Co-op Store. There's one near you.
The blessing of Alabama agriculture is more than 3 meals a day. It means independence from foreign nations, freedom to pursue other jobs and activities, conservation of natural resources, and preservation of family values. For 93 years, the Alabama Farmers Federation has brought together the men and women whose work fills our plates and fuels the American dream.
Look, don't get me wrong, I love to rock my 4-inch heels, but you know what I really love? Beef. When I watch a Western, I'm not watching the cowboys, I'm watching the cows. T-bone, filet, New York strip, and it's gotta be choice Angus beef. And there's nobody that does beef better than the beef people at Winn-Dixie, the original beef people. Hey, I'm beef people. Are you?
Winn-Dixie, home of the beef people.
I'm gonna need an electrician.
Rita and Mike were replacing a built-in microwave.
Don't scratch the stove.
Okay.
All right, let's go get something to eat.
Smart and beautiful.
When Rita called, she said, "You're not gonna believe what happened." I said, "Rita, because we had your regular Alpha policy review, your damage is covered."
Glad we left the insurance to a pro.
Good call.
For service and savings, call Alpha.
Well, we didn't scratch the stove.
There was a time the town market was central to the community, a place where local farmers and craftsmen could sell their wares and neighbors visited. Modern conveniences and our fast-paced world have changed the landscape over the years. But in Rainbow City, some good barbecue is still discovering success, serving up that local flavor. This little corner store in Rainbow City, Alabama has lived many different lives.
This building was built around the 1940s. It has been just about everything you can imagine, from a gas station to a barber shop to a feed store. Back in the 1940s, there was a base camp down here in Camp Seibert. GI was come down and get their haircuts right here in the back of the store.
In 2010, Jody Stanfield purchased the old place, initially opening as a produce stand. His goal was to open a restaurant with a closer-to-home appeal.
He wanted to have a local place that bought local stuff, just from the local Joe. Average local Joe, the farmers, the people who made stuff, these canned goods, stuff like that. So he came up with, his name's Jody, so Local Joe's.
After entertaining the idea of selling pizza, the Stanfield family settled on barbecue and within the year had opened for business.
It snowed the first week that we opened for barbecue. And our first barbecue sandwich, actually, to a guy that rode down from his house on his four-wheeler.
It didn't take long for word to spread. In the years since opening, the barbecue at Local Joe's Trading Post has quickly developed a reputation, and the demand has smoked expectations.
We were a finalist on the AL.com's rib cook-off, third in our little area region, and then finalist in the overall category. And we've been featured in Gadsden Style magazine, so we've a lot of recognition. This past Thanksgiving, we sold around 500 turkey breasts. That was just in 1 day and 6-hour time span. Getting people in and out of this small store, I mean, we had somebody out here directing traffic to make sure people could get out in time. And for Christmas, it was the same thing.
Setting themselves apart from only barbecue, Local Joe's Trading Post has aspired to represent the spirit of their name, offering a variety of produce, baked goods, and many other products made locally and throughout the state.
We try to showcase as much local stuff as we can get our hands on. We have to be in Local Joe's, from produce to the wines, to the cheese straws, to the beer. I mean, we try to, do as much local things as possible. And we even have local soap from a guy that makes soap, and it's really good soap. So we got a little bit of everything here for everybody. So if you're just coming to get a barbecue, more than likely you're going to walk out with something else.
The response in the area has been so strong, a second location recently opened at nearby Southside, and their catering operation has proven increasingly successful. What has made them so successful is no secret to the team at Local Joe's. It's all in the name.
I think everybody here really enjoys just the atmosphere that we bring to the table, and the customers love it. I mean, not everywhere you get to go do you try to know everybody by their name, or give them a hug around the neck, or remember their order as soon as they walk in the door. I mean, they've been coming around a really long time, consistently great customers, and we really do appreciate that.
Local Joe's is open Monday through Saturday from 7 until 7. Their newest location in Southside is in a marina where customers can actually pull in and order hot barbecue right from their boats.
That sounds like a good Saturday to me. Out on the lake, get a good barbecue sandwich, and I hear Local Joe's has great desserts too.
Excellent, excellent desserts. Coming up next, a group of young people from Franklin County are hitting all the right notes when it comes to music and to serving their community.
And later, we all love the excitement of riding and roping that comes along with the rodeo. But for young people competing in the livestock shows, it's about more than winning awards. Stay with us, there's more Simply Southern just ahead.
Alabama soybean farmers help fuel the state's economy. Soybeans are used to make clean, renewable biodiesel and are a key ingredient in feed for poultry, catfish, and livestock. Soybeans are used in dozens of products we use every day. But best of all, soybean farmers generate $258 million and more than 4,000 jobs for Alabama's economy, all while helping conserve our natural resources. Explore the power of soy. Brought to you by the Alabama Beef Checkoff Program. Fire up the grills. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Support healthy food from local farmers by purchasing a Farming Feeds Alabama license plate. The tag funds education and promotion efforts, including Ag in the Classroom, agricultural scholarships, and youth programs. Get your Ag tag today.
Alabama wheat and feed grain farmers grow food, fuel, and freedom. Their harvest helps feed Alabama's multi-million-dollar livestock, catfish, and poultry industries while reducing America's dependence on foreign countries for energy and food. By combining their strength with farmers of other commodities, feed grain growers are fueling the economic growth of Alabama communities.
Today's farming operation is more complex than ever before, with precision agriculture becoming an integral piece to farm management. AccuField provides precision agriculture technologies and site-specific management capabilities in a simplified and interactive format, helping you put all the pieces of the farming puzzle together. For more information, visit us at www.accufield.com.
The FFA student organization has played a major role in today's agricultural community, but has also touched lives in a diversity of fields, from doctors to teachers and even scientists. This week, Samantha Carpenter visits one group of North Alabama students who are finding that fulfilling FFA's mission of personal growth and leadership doesn't always have to be the same old song.
Learning to do.
The hardest part about string band is definitely practice.
Doing to learn.
We get to go to district and state and national competition.
Earning to live.
We've got some people from Red Bay that have gone on to college on music scholarship.
Living to serve.
I like making people smile and I like making them happy.
This is the motto of FFA, an organization most commonly affiliated with agricultural education. Teaching these values, however, takes many paths beyond farm, field, and plow.
The string band is something that Red Bay has been known for over the years. In 1938, our chapter got its charter paper, and that year we actually had a string band. So it goes back all the way to 1938.
Guitars, mandolins, and fiddles have little in common with raising livestock, but the students that make up the Red Bay String Band feel the instruction and experience they have received is central to the mission of FFA.
A lot of people just think that FFA is only agriculture or only about cows or horses or stuff like that. They don't realize that there's a lot more to it, like learning leadership qualities and really just learning to make new friends.
The Red Bay FFA String Band is one of several throughout Alabama. Every year, these young musicians compete in district and state competitions with a chance to ultimately show their stuff on the big stage.
We played at the National FFA Talent Competition where we placed in the top 10, and that was about 10,000 people in that arena, and it was just a great experience.
It all may sound glamorous, but it is built on a foundation of hard work.
They practice really hard, probably 2 to 2.5 hours twice a week. And so they put a lot of time in, and when they come to practice, they have to set the sound system up, and then they practice, and when they finish, they tear the sound system down and put everything away. So they put a lot of work into this.
FFA is a really good way to stay out of trouble. You are kept busy almost at all times, and you always have something that you could be doing.
The String Band affords members a fun and creative path within the program, but the FFA mission values of leadership, teamwork, and cooperation are intrinsic to bringing it all together.
They get pretty close to each other, and they become pretty good friends, and also they get a lot of experience that they probably would not get if they weren't in the string band.
And as with other areas of knowledge and skill available through FFA, the String Band cultivates passion and practice into potential for the future.
After high school, I eventually plan to go to a university for music where I can pursue a career in music and keep doing it for the rest of my life.
The Red Bay String Band performs a variety of music spanning bluegrass, country, and rock and roll. Always a popular draw, they continue to perform at both FFA competitions and events throughout the state. For Simply Southern, I'm Samantha Carpenter.
Members of the band tell us their favorite songs to play include Born to Fly by Sarah Evans and Take It Easy by the Eagles.
What about Freebird? They know Freebird?
I don't know if they know that one. You'll have to yell it at them the next time you hear him perform.
And I will.
I bet you will. When we return, the rodeo is not just about riding and roping. It can also be about learning lessons of life. Stay with us for more Simply Southern.
Alabama wheat and feed grain farmers grow food, fuel, and freedom. Their harvest helps feed Alabama's multi-million-dollar livestock, catfish, and poultry industries while reducing America's dependence on foreign countries for energy and food. By combining their strength with farmers of other commodities, feed grain growers are fueling the economic growth of Alabama communities.
Today's farming operation is more complex than ever before, with precision agriculture becoming an integral piece to farm management. AccuField provides precision agriculture technologies and site-specific management capabilities in a simplified and interactive format, helping you put all the pieces of the farming puzzle together. For more information, visit us at www.accufield.com.
There's no such thing as downtime when you own a farm. This is your land. You tend it and try to get the most from it, no matter the weather or time of day. It's been that way for generations. And for generations, your local quality co-op store has been there for you, with a full range of agriculture supplies and services, from feed to fertilizer, seed to grain storage, and the right hardware for any application. You'll always find what you need, plus friendly, knowledgeable advice at your local quality co-op store. There's one near you.
For nearly 50 years, the electric cooperatives of Alabama have been giving young people an opportunity to visit our nation's capital, where they learn about the value of electric cooperatives and the importance of grassroots advocacy. Top students join with thousands of others touring monuments, landmarks, and meeting with their congressional delegation. The Rural Electric Youth Tour program. Just one more way the electric cooperatives of Alabama are investing in the future of our state.
Alabama soybean farmers help fuel the state's economy. Soybeans are used to make clean, renewable biodiesel and are a key ingredient in feed for poultry, catfish, and livestock. Soybeans are used in dozens of products we use every day. But best of all, soybean farmers generate $258 million and more than 4,000 jobs for Alabama's economy, all while helping conserve our natural resources. Explore the power of soy.
Every year, thousands of people come from across the Southeast to see cowboys from across the country compete in the Southeastern Livestock Exposition Rodeo. But not all of the excitement is confined to the big arena. Youth of all ages compete in the accompanying livestock shows for ribbons and cash. But as Kevin Worthington tells us, the real prize is the lessons they learn while raising their show animals.
Since 1958, Montgomery has hosted one of the premier rodeo events in the country, the Southeastern Livestock Exposition. Folks come from near and far to see some of the top cowboys in the country ride bareback broncs and bucking bulls, and just enjoy a lot of family fun.
Rodeo is just big-time rodeo, and we have one of the top stock contractors in the country. And so you have some of the world champion cowboys come to Montgomery.
Westerns like Gunsmoke and Bonanza captured the imaginations of Americans when the SLE rodeo was born. And early shows showcased stars like Roy Rogers, Clint Eastwood, and Fess Parker.
The all-time favorite was Festus, who was on Gunsmoke.
Drifting along with a tumbling tumbleweed.
He fooled everybody because he was a real gifted singer. He was with the Sons of the Pioneers, so he would do his Western sidekick dialogue and then start singing.
As the popularity of the TV Western faded, the pageantry of the early days has given way to some of the top competitive action in the nation.
This is a PRCA rodeo, Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, that's major league, it's the top of the line. And these guys start in January competing, and you try to make it to the top 15 in each of the events. So if you're a bareback, you want to get in the top 15 to go to Las Vegas, where they'll compete for more money there than they've won all year.
Dr. Powell says the rodeo has multiple purposes, but primarily it's a way to get the general public exposed to agriculture.
We hope we introduce livestock and rural life to a lot of people. We use the money that we make to help sponsor things like this Junior Beef Expo, where we have, I think, youth from, I think it's 41 or 42 counties in the state are here competing.
The Junior Beef Expo brings youth from around the state to showcase the cattle they've raised. The president of the Alabama Farmers Federation says his organization sponsors the event because the benefit to these young participants goes far beyond livestock.
I think these young people will have an impact on Alabama, the whole state. These people will be the people serving on county commissions or city councils or things in the future. They have the characteristics that it takes to be leaders, in that they've been taught responsibility from taking care of these animals.
There's a bunch of work. I rinse my heifer and blow her off once a day. I have to feed every 12 hours and make sure it's on the right hour every minute. It's just working, but I love it, so it's not something that I'm forced to do.
Annually, the rodeo has an estimated $2 million impact on the central Alabama area. But Dr. Powell says far more important is the opportunity it presents to expose people to an important side of life in the South.
It's a showcase for agriculture. Anything you can do to expose young people, I think, to livestock and to the rural life is a positive.
For Simply Southern, I'm Kevin Worthington.
Parents say these projects can be expensive, but what it teaches their children is priceless.
It really is. They're learning so much about caring for livestock, and they really get attached to those animals.
Yeah, you can walk through the barns, and in some of the stalls, the children will be asleep with their animals.
Oh,
it's
wow.
just incredible.
That's cute.
After the break, Sidney Phelps with Bonnie Plants talks about how to select plants for your garden that will not only survive, but thrive in the southern summer heat.
This seems unbelievable, but I promise it's true.
What's with the buzzing? Oh, that's a raven. That's a good omen. He knows we're coming back with dinner.
Well, that bird had a bunch of friends. And when Scott got back to the camper...
Oh, that was a buzz! What? Scott! Wait, what did you do? It's raining inside.
His new camper was a total loss, but his Alpha policy covered it.
It's that bird.
For service and savings, call Alpha.
Making sure you're covered?
Good call.
It's been said, without hard work, nothing grows but weeds. This is certainly true in agriculture. At the Alabama Farmers Federation, we know success is not born of fancy words, grand ideas, or good intentions. It's a result of wise planning, bold leadership, dedicated work, and blessings from above.
Support healthy food from local farmers by purchasing a Farming Feeds Alabama license plate. The tag funds education and promotion efforts, including Ag in the Classroom, agricultural scholarships, and youth programs. Get your Ag tag today.
We believe a plant should be more than a plant. This one is. It's all you need for your garden to succeed. Because it's a Bonnie plant. It represents hundreds of varieties of Bonnie's quality veggies and herbs. But more, it's from generations of Bonnie people who are passionate about sharing their love of gardening with you. Look for this little Bonnie plant and a whole family of plants like it in your garden center. Bonnie plants, so you'll know how to grow.
Hey folks, Sidney Phelps here with Bonnie Plants. Today I want to talk to you about heat-tolerant tomatoes. With the summer heat coming around, we know that it's important that we get those fresh tomatoes out of our garden. Now, better boys, big boys, celebrities, they're not always going to produce as well as a heat tolerant, and that's the reason why heat tolerants are becoming so popular. The reason for this is, when the weather gets in the 90 to 100 degrees, you've got those temperatures, well, we're going to drop into the 75s, the 80s at night. It really doesn't give the plant a chance to produce. So you see a lot of those blooms drop off. That's called blossom drop. Now, there are certain products that you can use, like Bloom Set or Blossom Set, that you can put onto the plants that will allow them to hold the bloom and produce tomatoes through the summer. But if you go with these heat-tolerant varieties, they will produce all the way through the summer until you get ready to put that fall crop in to have your late season tomatoes. And you go right back to those better boys and celebrities because they're going to produce as long as you make sure you maintain them and keep them healthy. So with that being said, let's take a look at a couple of examples of heat-tolerant tomatoes and show you their size, what type of varieties you can get out of that, and where you can find them at. So let's take a look at one of our heat-tolerant tomatoes called a Heat Master. Now the Heat Master tomato is a great tomato, and it's one of the best ones in the heat-tolerant line. The reason for that is it's a determinant, which all the heat-tolerant tomatoes are determinant. So as you can see here, it's a short, stalky tomato. It's going to get about 4 feet tall, and it's going to be really easily contained in one single cage. Now, we have all of our tomatoes here in containers, oversized containers. So the tomatoes produce great. Now, one thing about the heat tolerance, they're determinants, so that means that they're going to produce the majority of the fruit at one time. And as you can see, this is a prolific producer. You're going to have great sized tomatoes producing all throughout the summer. And we even have blooms coming on that they're going to be producing even more. Now, one key factor that you need to keep in mind when it comes to these type of tomatoes is irrigation in the heat. You want to be watering from the base of the plant. Now, luckily for us, we have drip irrigation to all of the containers here in the garden. You can do the same method at home with your water hose. First off, turn the water on, make sure that it's cool temperature before you put it to the plant. Secondly, put it directly at the base of the plant. That way the water goes to the root system. You don't want anything on the leaves. That has a chance to burn the leaves or even possibly cause disease in your garden, and that's something we definitely don't want. Keep in mind, there are several other varieties of heat-tolerant tomatoes. You have Florida 91s, Somersets, you even have the Solar Fire. So basically, if it sounds like a hot variety, you want to check that out. But for more information on those varieties, you can go to the website at bonnieplants.com.
You know, I'd be tempted to take those green tomatoes and fry them up.
I bet those would be really good. And you know, there's heat-tolerant tomatoes, but once they make a heat-tolerant gardener, we'd have a lot more vegetables at my house.
True enough.
For more information on how to make your backyard garden successful, be sure to visit bonnieplants.com.
You can also find out more about the stories we featured today by visiting their individual websites. Local Joe's is all about small town values, but you can find them on the internet by either their Facebook page or on their website, localjoestradingpost.com.
You can also keep up with the award-winning Red Bay FFA String Band by liking their Facebook page at facebook.com/redbay.ffa-chapter. And of course, if you haven't done so already, be sure to like our Simply Southern Facebook page to stay up to date on stories we're working on. And if you have a suggestion for a story, we'd love to hear from you.
Coming up next week, what's the only way to get food that's fresher than from a farmer? Go pick it yourself. And we'll tell you where you can do just that.
And we'll introduce you to a man who wanted an authentic hunting experience. And he found out he has a great artistic talent.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Simply Southern. I'm Jim Allen.
And I'm Mary Johnson. We hope to see you again next week.
Simply Southern is a production of the Alabama Farmers Cooperative and the Alabama Farmers Federation.